And then we'll bring you in. Oh, and we're live. So, all right. Hello, everyone out there. I am retweeting from my account so we get as many people as possible in here. But hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you've been following us today, my name is Kevin Griffin. I'm one of the co-organizers of RevolutionConf 2017. And we'd love to have you to our conference. It's June 1st and 2nd in beautiful Virginia Beach, Virginia. We're right on the beach. RevolutionConf, if you've never heard of it, is a technology agnostic conference. We want to unite software developers of all types. It doesn't matter if you're a JavaScripter, a Rubyist, a .NETer, if you do UI, UX, or you're a project manager. We want you here because we love you because you're in technology. And I'm gracious to have Emily Freeman with me today. How are you, Emily?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So Emily, I'm going to run through a bunch of questions. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you because you had one of the more unique talks that came across our list of our call for papers.
Yeah.
And I remember your talk exactly when I was going through the list. I'm like, oh, I want this talk. So,
that's awesome.
So we'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, I want to know more about you. Tell me about yourself. Where do you work? What do you do?
Yeah.
What dirty secrets that you have that you want to share with everyone?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I'm based in Denver, Colorado. I work for a company called Wazee Digital. We do media asset management, which is a fancy way of saying we ingest, create renditions, store, and license footage for anyone from studios to live sports events. I'm a Java developer, so I work on the back end. I build APIs and services. We've just kind of broken down, like everyone else, our monolith and have created a new microservice product. So that's kind of my transition right now. Yeah, so how I got into this, I don't have your average developer story. I definitely did not get into gaming or learn C, when I was 8. I was a ghostwriter for many years. And then after doing that, I had my daughter and I had a bit of a quarter life crisis. I think like a lot of new parents might.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I remember sitting on like a client call and we were discussing how to spell the word okay, whether it was O-K-A-Y or okay, or capital O, capital K. And I just had this aha moment and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm good.
I've seen capital O dot capital K.
Yeah, there you go. It's like,
so what was the conclusion? What's the proper way of saying okay?
So the funny thing about English is there's a lot of debate. Like I think people think if you're a grammarian, it's sort of like a set group of rules and you have to follow very specific, but it's still like up for debate. And so you end up with a lot of these conversations and it's like, do whatever you want to do. It's like, keep it consistent. That's my rule. I'm a very like conversational writer. So I like people to just be genuine and authentic in their writing. I think she preferred OKAY, but it was a moment I realized I had exhausted the challenges of ghostwriting and I was ready to move on to different things. I thought about, what I wanted to do next. And I knew developers, it was like good work-life balance, good salaries, good benefits. I liked all these startups. I'm like, how hard could it be, right? So I started going to meetups in my local area. I was in DC at the time. And they were all like, okay, well, if you're serious about this, if you want to learn, go to Turing. I was like, Turing, okay. And they're like, yeah, it's in Denver. I'm like, okay, but that's in Denver. I'm in DC. Like, and they're like, no, go to Turing. It's like the best one, best code school, I should say. So I ended up packing my, 6-month-old and blind dog into a car and driving across the country.
Wow, that is a commitment.
Yeah, right. I'm either very bold and brave or absolutely insane. It's really up to you guys.
Well, you're doing well. So obviously everything's worked out. You didn't get to Denver and have a panic attack, which I think a lot of people was like moving across the country just to learn how to code and do all this good stuff.
Yeah. So it was a 7-month program. It was grueling, but it was phenomenal. Like when I look back at, those first projects, because I knew nothing. Like I was not knowledgeable in any way. I was command line, like what is the terminal? It's the black and white screen, right? And so just kind of doing that, it was phenomenal to see where I started and then what I learned. And now in Java, I'm like, this is nuts.
That's why I was curious. Does
Yeah.
Turing teach Java? I actually don't know what Turing teaches. I've heard of Turing several times, but I'm not sure about their curriculum or how they teach it.
Yeah, so it's a 7-month code school. It's one of the longer programs, and they kind of take you through 4 modules. They just launched a front-end program, so I'll speak to the back-end program because that's the one I know and went through. And you start with Ruby, just like straight Ruby. Then modules 2 and 3 are kind of like diving into Rails, a little active record, touching on SQL and APIs. And then the 4th module is JavaScript. So you come out learning, knowing 2 languages at a very basic level, and then you're able to, enter the workforce as a developer.
Wow. And do they help you getting that first job coming out of the code school?
Definitely, yes. So they help with, tailoring your resume, how to use your previous experience. That was one of my concerns. It was like, okay, I have 10 years writing experience. How does this apply at all? and just helping you make connections in the community.
Awesome. So where you are now with Wazee, was that the first job you took coming out of Turing, or is it just it is?
Yeah, definitely. They took a big risk.
So I'm really curious, just from when you interview as a company coming in from a code school, and like I'm the other spectrum. I came in from a traditional computer science background.
Yeah.
So when every interview I've ever sat in on, they drill me on computer science topics that no one cares about and will never use.
Yes.
Like, the 3 parts of object-oriented programming. Explain them now.
Yes.
And, what's your experience like coming out of a code school, which I know they teach things much differently in a code school than they do in traditional computer science?
Definitely.
How does that translate into the interview process and eventually getting the job?
Yeah, it was a bumpy ride. I mean, the code schools teach very practical skills, so you learn truly web development, the day-to-day skills. And you're so right, like the interviews, even like all technical interviews, and I this is like a subject I could talk about for hours. Like I'm fascinated by this. But coming out, I mean, like, I think my hardest interview, it was just like a CS storm for 3 hours. I mean, I sat down, it was a remote interview, and they handed me 8 pieces of paper, and I refer to it as a paper program. And they were like, debug it. And I was like, sorry, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So at that moment, it was just like, buckle up and go with it. You kind of like learn these skills. I certainly, I consider CS fundamentals one of my growth areas. But you can get a general idea of like how the internet works and,
Yeah, I will tell you honestly, I have a 4-year CS degree, bachelor's in computer science, and I don't know lick about computer science.
Yeah.
And we joke about it in a couple forums that it's like, oh, do binary division using 2's complement. It's like, no. I have a very thick book on this bookshelf over here called Computer Architecture, and they teach you binary math in there. And I've come to realize I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
Yeah.
But you have the hard problem saying, all right, well, do I use Angular or React? They didn't teach that in computer science.
Yeah. It's so true.
Well, awesome. Well, let's move into RevolutionConf. This is your first time joining us at RevolutionConf.
Yes.
And your talk is titled, I love this title, Dr. Seuss Guide to Code Craftsmanship.
Yeah.
So, Emily, if I'm an attendee looking at the schedule, I see your talk against 3 others.
Yeah.
What do I need to know about your talk coming into it, and what should I expect to get out of it?
Yeah. So my passion, I think, partly fueled by my sort of different experience coming into development, is culture. And so I'm big on team collaboration. How do we work better? DevOps, these kinds of concepts. So you'll definitely get like a high level culture talk. It'll be fun. All my talks tend to be super fun. The inspiration for this one was my daughter. She's 2, and we read Cat in the Hat or Oh, the Places You'll Go like every night. So I have a ridiculous number of children's books memorized. It's just like taking up too much space.
I have 3 sons under 6.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like reading, by rote memory and just kind of thinking through like my next tech talk. And I thought, like this is pretty much the answer. Like, the places you'll go, it's like you are what makes code great. I think sometimes we focus on, if we're talking about craftsmanship, it's, it has to be your test suite or your method naming or, however you approach it. And we all kind of take our corners and we're super, passionate about it, like VI or Emacs, that type of debate. And so, it's just sort of like focusing on you. How do you become the master of your code? I think, for me, like when I first started, there's a rhythm to software development, and it's like, okay, ticket, seems easy, it'll be fine. And then it's like, you dig in a little bit, you're like, I don't know. And then you reach this block and it's like, I really don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm like the freak out moment. And then you kind of either work through it by yourself or collaborate. I love pair programming or just kind of talking through problems with my colleagues. And so then you have this moment where it's like, how did I not think about that before, And then when you finish, it's like, I am a god. And so, I think instead of going through that cycle every sprint, there's some things that we can do to kind of work on ourselves and our teams to make just our jobs a little bit more awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, we lose that. I remember my early programming days, I used to have that spark of, I have commanded this computer to do something.
Yes.
I have told the computer, print hello world on the screen, and it did my bidding. And
yes.
Now it's like, CSS.
Yeah.
Like, do my will, CSS. Please do my will. Please do my will. Exactly. No, don't do that. No. You just argue with, now it's just arguing with the computer. That's
it is. It's so funny you mentioned that though. Like anytime I'm testing an API, we do a lot of project names and stuff. So every time I test it, it's like the project name is like, please work. Pretty, please work.
You look at my commit history for some of my internal projects, is like working on this. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Almost. Got it. Nope, not quite. Done.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's squash that all together. Put it over here in master.
Nice little commit message. I'm glad we all have the same challenges.
I think so, and a lot of people just don't want to talk about it. They're like, other people don't have these problems. Other people are professionals, and they don't have these issues. We all have these issues. Definitely.
And one of the things I want to touch on is like ego and imposter syndrome, because I feel like in our industry, we measure each other on intelligence, and it can create a block where you don't want to look silly. And so you don't ask those kind of questions.
Absolutely. So one thing in looking at your abstract, and everyone can read your abstract by going to revolutionconf.com. And when we were doing our internal review, picking talks, I said, the only thing that can make this abstract better is if it rhymed.
You're so right.
And I started reading it like Cat in a Hat, or geez, I'm lapsing on all the Seuss books right now. But I wanted it to rhyme. But so if you ever do another version of this talk, try to make it rhyme. And
I'm gonna do that.
I think you'll get accepted everywhere, no matter what.
Yeah. I just learned about there's a type of cognitive bias that's rhyming. That if something rhymes, we kind of accept it more easily. How
really?
fascinating is that? Yeah.
I'm going to rewrite all my talk abstracts.
There you go. It's rhyme.
Well, awesome. So will this be you're in Denver?
I am.
And you used to be in DC. So you've been to Virginia before.
Yes. So right? I grew up in Nova, like Falls Church area.
Okay. So you're Northern Virginia, and don't listen to one of my other videos where I say Northern Virginia is not a part of Virginia.
That's all right. We consider seceding sometimes as well.
Yeah, it's like I said, Northern Virginia is more like a suburb of DC.
Yes, it definitely is. No, that's fair.
So will this be your first time in Virginia Beach? Did you ever venture down that far?
I did. I haven't been there since I was like 15 though. And at that point, everyone was still smoking. So it was more like an ashtray than a beach. But yeah, my parents moved to Florida when I was in high school, and the Gulf beaches are like my favorite. So, Virginia Beach is nice, but it's not like Florida.
No, I completely agree. I I tell people, they'll say, we're going to Virginia Beach. We're looking forward to the beach. I'm like,
Yeah.
The beaches are nice.
Yeah.
There are better beaches.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take your tourist dollars specifically for a beach, and you just need the beach, there are other beaches.
It's true. It's true. And I personally am like jellyfish adverse. They really freak me out. And I remember the Virginia Beach has quite a few jellyfish.
Yeah, if you're not careful, they do a really good job of putting the warnings up if the jellyfish are out.
Yeah.
So Virginia Beach, is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to doing down here? Any touristy stuff, or are you just going to hang out at the conference, do the beach there?
Yeah.
We're right off the beach. So
I know. I'm super excited. You guys picked like an awesome venue and hotel. Yeah, it'll be great. Hang out at the conference. I love going to conferences and speaking at conferences because you can kind of pair it. Like it's like a little bit of work, a little bit of play. So yeah, I'll be at the conference, and then a friend from DC is coming down that weekend. We're going to just, drink beer on the beach kind of thing.
Awesome. So one thing to keep in mind is our hotel has a free shuttle down to the boardwalk, which is it's the tourist Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
We purposely picked our hotel off of the tourist Virginia Beach.
Good job.
So you can actually go out on the beach and not bump into someone.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's not a private beach per se, but it's residential beaches.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But free shuttle down to the oceanfront, you can drink to your heart's content, and the hotel will bring you home. That's
wonderful.
So just keep that in mind.
Perfect.
Well, awesome. Are you a surfer?
I'm not. No, surfing. So there's like a couple things that I feel like you have to do as a 3-year-old in order to do them as an adult. And it's like surfing, skiing. It's like, if you didn't do it, I mean, what am I'm going to go be shown up by a bunch of 8-year-olds? My ego can't take that.
So you're in Denver. Do you go skiing?
No, see, that's like the problem. And everyone's on me about it. They're like, you got to learn. I'm like, I don't like trees. And running into trees is just not part of my life plan.
I have this adverse reaction to falling.
Yeah.
And the one time I've ever tried to go skiing, I just fell repeatedly over and over and over again. And I had no one teaching me, so I was trying to teach myself.
Yeah.
And I got about half an hour into it, and I said, nope. I walked back up the hill.
Yep. Did you?
I said, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah. Forget it.
So awesome.
Yeah.
So you are you a veteran conference goer? I know you're a speaker. You've spoken a lot of places.
Yeah.
If a lot of our attendees, this is going to be their first time at a large conference.
Yeah.
Or they've gone to big events where it's 5,000, 10,000 people.
Yeah.
RevolutionConf is slightly more intimate.
Yeah.
What recommendations or advice would you have for someone that this is their first conference experience?
First, like, I love the size and style of this conference. It's my favorite. It's very like broad. You're going to get a lot of different viewpoints and a lot of different topics. A lot more than you would get at like a Gopher Con, where it's just thousands of people and it's very vendor heavy. So yeah, it's super fun, and intimate is the best word. You get to actually speak with people. I think as a first time conference goer, something to keep in mind is like the speakers, like me, we're just people. And so we want to talk to you. I think sometimes people are just like afraid to talk to the speakers. And so like, come on up, like come sit in the first or second row, come chat with us. I'm sure there will be a little bit of an after party at some point. So, I'd love to, boom. You guys do conferences right, Kevin. Yeah. So, just keep that in mind and ask questions. Most people in tech are super friendly. I think we all recognize that it's an industry where you constantly have to learn, and we're open to collaboration and kind of sharing new ideas.
Yeah, definitely. I've asked that question to every speaker we've had on so far, and it's a recurring theme is we're human, just come talk to us.
Yeah.
And we won't bite, at least not too hard. And the thing I tell people, and I will repeat this every moment of the conference, is if there's a speaker you're just intimidated to come up and talk to, come find me.
Definitely.
And I will say, tap me on the shoulder, say, I really want to talk to Emily, but that's weather alert because we have tornadoes.
Yeah.
If someone says, I really want to meet Emily, but I'm a little intimidated to go up and talk to her, I will take you over to Emily. Go, Definitely. Emily, this is so-and-so. So-and-so, this is Emily. And then I will just leave the conversation.
Definitely.
But Yeah, and so we do have 2 after parties. Thursday night,
Awesome.
we have a luau. We're taking over the beach.
That's
Beach food, beach beverages,
Yeah.
music, just everyone have fun. And the second night, Friday night, we have just an after party, a time to unwind and hang out with whoever's left after the conference is over. That I said before, the after party at a conference is the most magical time because everyone's just going,
Yeah.
it's over. I can just sit back and relax. I don't have to worry about my talk in a half an hour. I don't have to worry about, as an organizer, we don't have to worry about logistics at all. So how do you feed 500 people at a conference? That's really a stressful thing to think about.
Definitely.
So I encourage everyone, take advantage of the after parties. They're the most relaxed time during the entire conference. We have a lot of venue space that's just for congregating. That's outside of the sessions, and I hope people take advantage of them. Because I know I will be. I'll be walking around talking to everyone I can talk to.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a great excuse. I think so much of our work is solitary, and it's really nice when we get a chance to kind of like go meet each other, you know?
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to talk about, you mentioned pair programming. Have you ever heard of mob programming?
I have, yes.
I think that's the most intense coding you could ever possibly do.
Yeah.
And if anyone out there is watching has never heard of mob programming, just go Google it. And imagine pair programming ramped up to 11.
Have you ever done it successfully?
No.
Okay. I was like, does it work?
The only experience I ever had is me sitting in front of a keyboard and 100 developers yelling at me.
Yes.
Say, you forgot a semicolon, or no, you misspelled that variable name. It's like,
I know.
I can't do it.
I can't think. I get really fat fingers when people like start yelling. I'm like,
please don't yell at me.
Yeah. All
right. Well, let's do a little bit of self-promotion. Do you have any projects you're working on that you want to talk about? You want people to go check out?
Right now, I'm just doing a bunch of conference talks, and then I've always got something going on. So you can always find what I'm up to. I'm editing Emily on Twitter, like writing and editing. And then emilyfreeman.io is my website. So you can kind of follow me along. And I definitely love to talk to people before the conference. So hit me up on Twitter.
Excellent. Do you still do a lot of writing?
For personal projects, yes.
Personal
definitely.
Projects?
Yeah.
I might want to talk to you, at least to get into, I'm assuming you have a network of writers that you know, because I always have needs of not ghostwriting, but editing help.
Definitely.
Because I don't speak the English too good when I'm writing. It's always nice to have a second opinion.
It definitely is. And even like professional writers always have an editor. Like, you know, it's never something you do by yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And to everyone watching, our good friends, my co-organizer, Linda, is in the chat. She said hi. And also one of your fellow speakers, Paul Chen, is in the chat room. He said hi as well. And we should have him on at least in the next couple days doing one of these chats.
Fantastic.
But everyone out there, if you want to come see Emily, go to revolutionconf.com. Tickets are on sale. And there are plenty of opportunities to chat with her in the hallway or at the after parties. And check out our other 49 amazing speakers. And Emily, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye, y'all.